I remember the first time I met Jake. It was a chilly autumn afternoon. The leaves were falling like golden confetti and the scent of pumpkin spice lingered in the air. I was at the local coffee shop, scribbling ideas for my novel into a leather-bound journal, when he wandered in, eyes darting over the crowd until they rested on me. The initial conversation was easy, fluid, our words dancing gracefully like leaves in the breeze. He spoke of his travel adventures and how he loved capturing moments through his photography. I was enthralled. It was as if I'd met a kindred spirit, someone who saw the world not as it was, but how it could be. For months, it was everything a young woman dreams of. We strolled through parks discussing literature and watched indie films at the rundown local theater. Every minute with Jake felt like music, sweet and harmonious. I felt safe in his arms and lost in his eyes. However, as winter transfigured into spring, subtle shifts appeared. He started becoming distracted during our conversations, and the vibrant spark in his eyes flickered out. I was concerned, but every time I asked, he brushed it off, telling me work was just hectic. Yet, a seed of doubt was planted in my heart. As time went on, I noticed Jake becoming increasingly distant. He was always busy, and texts went unanswered for hours. The man who once showered me with attention now felt as elusive as a fading dream. Our weekly dates were reduced to every other week and were filled with mundane silences. Then, the whispers began. Mutual friends started dropping hints about seeing him in places neither work nor photography could explain. My gut twisted every time his name was dropped in conversation. I needed answers, and I was done ignoring my instincts. One rainy evening, determined to uncover the truth, I decided to pay him a surprise visit. With heart pounding against my chest, the familiar path to his apartment felt foreign and foreboding. My mind raced through scenarios of what I would find. When I arrived, the door was slightly ajar. I took a deep breath, composed myself, and walked in. The room was dimly lit, shadows easily dancing on the walls. I called out his name, receiving only echoing silence in return. As I ventured further into the apartment, my heart sank. On the coffee table, a book caught my eye. It wasn't one of the novels we often read together but a photo album. Curiosity piqued, I opened it. A chronological display of photographs documented a story that wasn't ours. Images of Jake with another woman, sharing intimate laughs, holding hands on sunny days, their lips locked in kisses that used to be only mine. Each page was a dagger, piercing any remaining hope I had clung to. My hands trembled as the album slipped from my grasp, falling to the floor with a resonating thud. At that moment, the apartment door creaked open further, and Jake appeared, an expression of horror frozen on his face. I stood, betrayed not by words but by photos that told a story I was never part of. His stammered apologies were swallowed by the deluge of my own emotions, betrayal, disbelief, heartbreak. Then the twist unraveled. He didn't love me anymore, but he didn't know how to let go. His conflict was evident, yet my choice was clear. I left without another word, walking away from the illusion into the rain-soaked streets, tears blending with the soft droplets. As I accepted the cold truth, it was the beginning of my unexpected goodbye to someone who was never truly mine.